3 habits of highly successful people. People often ask me, Peter, you're building all these successful companies, you spend a lot of time in Silicon Valley, and you're studying the highly successful people. Tell me 3 habits that I don't know about. Tell me 3 habits that are different than the usual read a lot of books or wake up early at 5 o'clock. Tell me something different that I'm not practicing in my life. So here it is. We're going to cover 3 habits of highly successful people that you're most likely not practicing in your life. Secret habit number 1, and this is that highly successful people practice gratitude daily. They practice gratitude daily. However, the word here that we have to stress is practice. Because it's one thing to be grateful and happy overall on a daily basis, and it's a totally different story to actually practice gratitude every single day. There's a businessman of the 20th century by the name of Thomas Watson, and the company he built called IBM, you've heard of it. He has a famous quote saying, if you want to double your success rate, you have to double your failure rate. If you want to double your success rate, you have to double your failure rate. And it makes a lot of sense because if you think about it in your life, let's say we want to be successful in a new field or we want to be successful in the same field, we have to go out there, and at first we're going to make a lot of mistakes. We're making a lot of mistakes because we have to do a lot of experiments, see what works, what doesn't work, and then adjust our strategy accordingly. So this is how we succeed. However, there's only one problem with this. Do you know what the problem is? Well, the problem is that by failing a lot, which is the way to success, it actually hurts a lot. It causes a lot of pain. And a lot of people give up, unfortunately. Actually, most people give up because they have to fail their way to success. And the reason people give up is because failure depletes our body and mind of motivation and energy. When you go and you face a lot of rejection, if you've tried door-to-door sales and you hear no, 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 again and again and again, if you want to be an actor and you go to an audition after audition and you hear no, 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 I mean, you just get demotivated. A lot of people give up. However, the most successful, the highly successful, they don't give up. They still go through failure like everyone else, but they just don't give up. So why it is that they don't give up, but regular people give up? And the reason for this is because they don't let their reservoirs of motivation and energy get depleted. They get their motivation every single day so that they don't give up. The best way to do this is to actually practice gratitude every single day, and this is their secret. The reason it works so well is because practicing gratitude is very different than, let's say, drinking a Monster or coffee or even watching motivational videos. These types of motivation, these types of energy are short-lasted. However, when you practice gratitude, it gives you strong and lasting, continuous motivation. The science behind it is really strong. There's a university after university that are doing studies proving the biochemistry behind practicing gratitude. And there's an added benefit besides giving you motivation. It actually helps you focus on the positive and not the negative. It helps you focus on the small wins that are necessary in order to achieve your big goals. Let's say someone paid you a compliment or you spoke with a potential customer who was interested. It doesn't matter that the customer didn't buy your product or service, but the fact that he was interested and you write it down when you practice gratitude at the end of the day actually gives you the small win that you need to keep moving forward. So how do you start practicing gratitude every single day? Well, one way is to buy a gratitude journal. They sell them online. You can go to Amazon, buy one. Inside you would see every single morning you get to answer the question, what am I grateful for today? Then you can answer the same question at the end of the day, and you do this every single day. The benefits come over time. So the more you do it, the more benefits you're going to have. However, there's some minuses with the physical gratitude journal, and this is that you have to buy it over and over again because it's paper, we're killing trees, and then sometimes you turn off the light and you have to turn on the light again. You have to look for a pen. So it's very inconvenient and you're very likely to stop doing it. I personally prefer technology. And in fact, we built this app called Panda Habit, for example, and inside Panda Habit you get to do the same thing in the morning. It asks you, what are you grateful for? Right? What are you grateful for today? It has some other questions to really help you focus on a positive note. And then at night you get to answer the question, what were my high points today? Write anything that was positive to really help you focus on these positive things that are going to fuel you for the day ahead. And also, besides the question, there's something that we call a picture of the day. So the picture of the day is something that you upload at the end of the day, and it's a picture that you took throughout the day. So let's say you go to the gym and maybe you're really excited, you're making progress, or you bought a new book, you take a picture of the book, you take it with your girlfriend, with your kids, whatever the case is. Or you can download a picture from the internet instead of using one that you took with your phone. For example, maybe you can put a picture of your dream apartment and put this as a picture of the day. So kind of like the law of attraction and having it as a vision board and not just something that happened throughout the day. And then what happens inside the app, there's a feature called Moments. Inside Moments, you can scroll back and you can see every single day for the last 30 days, for the last year even, what you are grateful for that day and the picture that is associated with every single day. So it's a great exercise not just to practice gratitude on a daily basis with the morning gratitude journal, with the evening gratitude journal, but to actually have these memories and going back and looking over them and be yet more grateful. I'll leave a link in the description. This is the Panda Habit app, but again, you can use the gratitude journal. This would also work fine. Secret habit number 2. This is that highly successful people dream big goals. They dream big goals. Now, sadly, this is one of these habits where people understand it on a conscious level. They would say, Peter, it makes a lot of sense. I dream big dreams. I want to achieve big goals for myself and my family. However, on a subconscious level, maybe you don't really believe it. And this is because you've been programmed, and by seeing your family back through the generations, if they haven't had a lot of abundance, it passes to us as children, and we feel undeserving, we feel not worthy of achieving great success, and therefore we're limiting ourselves. These are subconscious barriers that I also had back in the days, but there are ways that we can overcome them. Because if you read the biographies of the greatest people of all time, people like Benjamin Franklin, people like Leonardo da Vinci, you would see that they indeed think differently, just like Steve Jobs said. They think differently, they dream very big goals, and they worry about how they're going to achieve them later. Because here's what happens. Now think about this. When you're dreaming small goals, you're just not providing yourself enough room to grow. It's not enough. Just like if you place a plant in a small container, if you place a tree in a small container, the plant would never be able to outgrow the container because there's just so much room inside a small container. So your mind first has to expand in order for you to become the best version that you can become. You need room to grow by having big dreams, big goals. A lot of people come to me and they say, Peter, you know what? I don't need a lot, man. I just need a little bit of a better job. I just need a little more money. But by saying this, they're limiting themselves into becoming the best version of themselves. So on the other hand, if you say, you know what, wouldn't it be amazing if I achieved this huge goal? And your mind goes, wow, if you really want to achieve this goal is so big that you have to fundamentally change your thinking, you have to fundamentally change your behavior if you want to achieve something that big. And then watch yourself transform literally overnight. Because to achieve a big goal, you have to become a totally different person. But to achieve a small goal, to achieve a small dream, you don't really expand any effort. Just as the saying goes, shoot for the moon and you're going to land somewhere among the stars. But if you're shooting and if you're aiming for across the street, you don't even get to leave the building. That is why the bamboo tree takes 3 years to get established and grow its roots first, because it knows that it's going to be big one day. Virtually all of the most successful people think that way. Now, the more important question, how do you make this a habit? How do you make this habit a reality in your life? Well, the best way to do this is just like practicing gratitude, is to incorporate it into your morning routine. Just like you did with the gratitude and you answered the question about what you're grateful for today, you can answer the question, what does my best life look like? And you're going to visualize every single morning, what does your best life look like? What is the apartment that I'm going to be living in? Who are the people that I'm going to be spending my time with? right? Do I have a business? What does the business look like? Do I work at a job? How is my job better? How is my position different? How is my position more authoritative, more important? All these things. Do I have customers? Who are these customers? If you do this every single morning, you'll be amazed how many details you're going to come up with. And the more detailed the picture is in your head, the more likely you are to actually achieve it. And it has to be a big picture. It has to be a big vision. Some of the best athletes, some of the best business people, they have done this since the very beginning. You've probably heard about Michael Phelps. He says that visualization is one of the secrets for his success. He has visualized everything, and not just winning, but every single detail. What is going to happen, for example, if he loses his goggles during a competition? If you do this every single day, you'll be amazed how you'll start getting drawn into this direction. Now, another way, and I don't mean to speak about Panda Habit, the app again, but just to give you another example, the way we incorporated it inside the app, we actually have someone inside the app who recorded a guided session. The session is called 10 Minutes of Power, and every single morning I, for example, get to plug in my earbuds in my ears and I listen, and he's guiding me. So all these questions that I just asked and some more, he's guiding you, and then he gives you some time to reflect, to think about it. So it's the lazy way to do it. You just plug in your earbuds and you just listen, and he tells you now think about this, and you think about this. He tells you now do this, and you're just doing this. So I personally prefer to do it like this because it's less of a chance that I procrastinate. The most important thing about all these habits, it's about doing them every single day, not procrastinating. This is what we're trying to do with Panda Habit, actually make it so simple for people so they start to really incorporate these habits into their daily lives. So I'm going to leave the link for Panda Habit in the description in case you wanted to check it out, but I think the 10 Minutes of Power, you're really going to like listening to it with your earbuds, because there's not just the visualization but some other stuff inside as well for the perfect morning routine. Secret habit number 3, the most highly successful people improve their skills weekly, but not just any skills. Let's write this down first. It's very important to do this correctly like the highly successful, because most people do it wrong. Here's what happens. There's 2 types of skills: hard skills and you have soft skills. The hard skills are skills like coding on a computer, mixing drinks like a bartender, or accounting. These are specific hard skills. However, soft skills on the other hand are skills like communication, presentation skills, leadership, confidence, and courage. These are examples for soft skills, so you can see how they're different. And here's the key. If you stop the average person on the street and if you ask him, now tell me what is the secret to become very successful one day, highly successful and rich, and they'll say you have to choose a really good university and you have to specifically choose a skill that is highly valued skill at today's day and age. For example, you have to choose a skill like being a computer programmer, or you have to become a lawyer, you have to become a surgeon, you have to become a doctor. Even people on the internet here on YouTube, they would tell you have to learn Facebook advertising, you have to learn selling on Shopify. Now, here's the interesting thing though. If you ask the most successful people in the whole world, and Warren Buffett, for example, the 3rd richest person at the moment, if you ask him, and he's been asked many times the same question, what is the most important skill that he's learned, what is the most important investment he's made, and he says, you know what, actually the most important thing that I've done is very early in my career taking that Dale Carnegie communications course. Because without this soft skill, I wouldn't be able to do anything else that I've done in my life. Why is it that the average people say focus on hard skills and the most successful people say focus on soft skills? Well, think about yourself. Hard skills are always going to be changing. We live in a world that is constantly changing, constantly evolving. Your hard skills, you always have to change, you always have to improve. Hey, probably no one knows that 10 years ago, I was a lifeguard and I was a bartender as well. I have 2 certificates about being a bartender and being a lifeguard. No one really cares. I don't use these hard skills anymore. But the skills that I learned early in my career, the communication skills, the overcoming stress and anxiety skills, the presentation skills, the having courage and confidence skills, I use these skills on a daily basis, no matter what business I start, no matter what partnership I start with other people, no matter what. And you ask successful people, the highly successful people, again and again, they will tell you the same thing. Because it doesn't matter if you're the best hacker in the world, if you don't have the confidence and courage to actually change the world. It doesn't matter if you're the best lawyer in the world and you know all the clauses that you can have in a contract if you don't have the communication skills to actually explain this to your potential customers. It doesn't matter if you have an amazing business opportunity in front of you if you're dealing with stress and anxiety every single day and you don't know how to overcome these feelings. On the other hand, you can be a busboy, for crying out loud, and you can become one of the most admired and respected people of the 21st century. Isn't this crazy? Does this blow your mind? Hard skills change, soft skills stay for the rest of your life and serve you in absolutely everything that you do from now on. That's why you have to build them early in your career or as early as possible. So how do we improve our soft skills weekly? And this one is a little tricky, if I have to be honest with you, because I can suggest go to YouTube. The problem with YouTube though is that you have random videos. You can watch random videos. However, what YouTube is lacking is the actual practice element. You can watch YouTube videos all day long, but unless you have the discipline to actually write down a plan and go take the action steps, nothing is really going to make much of a difference. So this is a little tricky, but it's definitely doable. However, my job as an entrepreneur is to solve problems. And 1 year ago, I actually had the same observation in my business because we had two online courses companies to where we teach people hard skills. We teach business owners, we teach professionals how to advertise on the internet and certain other hard skills. But we noticed though, when we analyzed the students that were most successful, that it wasn't the hard skills that we taught them that really made them successful. It was actually the soft skills that they have learned before. We had students starting with our programs who had no experience building online businesses, had no experience with all the other skills that we were teaching, the hard skills, and yet they became successful very easy. And the reason for this is because they already had the soft skills. And then I was wondering, well, then maybe we have to teach people the soft skills. We shouldn't be teaching them the hard skills because everyone teaches you the hard skills, and you probably know the hard skills, some courses cost $1,000, $2,000 or less, but it's very pricey. So I said, how can we make this as inexpensive as possible? How can we do this? You probably won't believe it. Again, I would bring up Panda Habit as the example, but inside Panda Habit, what we decided to do, so on top of the gratitude journal, on top of the visualizations and the guided morning routine and ritual, the picture of the day, the album, like all these things. So probably the most important thing of Panda Habit is that you have courses about the soft skills. So currently we have a course about courage. We have a course now coming up on self-confidence. We have about a course about your strengths and weaknesses, how to really understand what your strengths and weaknesses are as a human being so you can really focus on that. We have a course about anxiety and how to overcome anxiety and stress on a daily basis. Really important topics. And now these courses are not just courses like the ones on the internet where they're very long and they take a long time. So each course we call a challenge inside the app. And the reason it's a challenge is twofold. It's a challenge because it's a 5-day challenge or a 7-day challenge. Each audio is only about 7 to 12 minutes. So it's very easy to consume one audio every single day. You're not going to procrastinate doing this. And second of all, it's a challenge is because it gives you the exercises right when you listen to it. So when you listen to the actual challenge, it's made and it's constructed in a way to where it asks you certain questions. So you have to answer to questions just when you listen to it. You can write down or you don't have to, but you answer questions. You get to visualize certain things to help you behave like the person you want to become. Every single challenge has exercises embedded inside so that you actually get to take action and you really get to build these soft skills. And this is inside Panda Habit. And the best part of it is that, wow, you can spend thousands and thousands of dollars building your soft skills on the internet. With Panda Habit, I think it's only about $2 a week with the annual subscription. It's crazy like this, and I said, hey, listen, if I'm going to be doing this YouTube video for our audience and if you're a subscriber, I said, how about we make the app 7-day free trial? So you can even test it out for free for 7 days. Watch as many challenges as you can for these 7 days. Go inside the app, pay nothing, just subscribe for the 7 days, master the challenges. Practice gratitude every single day. See how you change in 7 days. Right? Dream big. Listen to the morning routine. 10 minutes of power. You know, visualize. Take a picture of the day. Make your own vision board. Do all these things. Watch yourself change and transform. Then, if you want to keep it, you can keep it for the low price. Or you can just use a different methodology. You can use the physical journal. You can write down on a piece of paper. You can watch soft courses on YouTube. You can do whatever is best for you. But I'm just extremely proud of what we've built. And I feel an obligation to share with people that this is transformational. I myself do it every single day. So if you'd like to give it a try, I'll place the link right here in the description. You can start the 7-day free. You can take as much advantage of it. And let me know what you think about the app. And let me know what you think about this video in general. Is this the first time you're watching a video of our channel? Let me know in the comments. Do you like the secret habits? Is this transformational for you? Did it provide value? Let me know in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. I'll be coming up with more on a weekly basis, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Should you decide to download the app, start the free trial, I'll leave the link again right here in the video and in the description. And I wish you, my friend, you have an amazing week, an amazing year. I wish you have the best year of your life. I'll see you later. Bye.